Good morning, everybody. It's Roger here. Sorry, it's been a couple days since I've made a video. Had my truck in the shop. Got a new catalytic converter, and now my truck is running like a champ. So, anyways, with great power comes great responsibility. This thing, I just hit it one time and it just goes fast. So, anyways, wanted to talk today about the Trump tax plan. Apparently, as everybody has already known, Trump's tax plan, the House plan, actually is going to be going to Trump's desk. It passed yesterday, late yesterday, with not unanimous votes. No Dems voted for it as usual, and that might come to bite them in their in the midterms next year. You know, seeing what happens with these supposed tax cuts is going to be determining. I mean, it's going to be determining like who you're going to be voting for next year midterms. And I actually think it's going to be favoring the Republicans. I think that every argument that they've made in regards to so they had this whole meeting before. It's about an hour and a half where they were going to be casting the vote to see if they were going to go through with it, and then they cast another vote to see and that didn't pass, and then they did another vote after that to see if this was going to be passed on, if the Trump tax plan would be passed on over to Trump to sign into law. And that passed. But during that hour and a half, we had speakers like Nancy Pelosi. I forget the guy's name from Texas. He was one of the ones that helped Donald Trump. His last name is Brady. I can't remember his first name. But they all, when you look at the contrast between the left and the right when it came to their reasons for being pro or anti-Trump tax plan, you actually saw the right providing actual information, and then you have the left pushing scare tactics. There was nothing of value coming from the left, nothing of a concrete example that would indicate what would be bad about the plan. All they kept saying was, it's a bad plan, it's a bad plan, it's a bad plan. I mean, just watching Nancy Pelosi, she had about a little 5-minute ramble. Then other representatives ended up representatives from the right brought up, okay, well, you're going to get this specifically, that specifically, and they talked specifics, and the Dems didn't. So I think the Dems, they're playing their usual game of just touting emotion. I think what's happening is they basically know that this will benefit people, and they're not in control of money anymore. They're not going to be in control of your money anymore. What this is actually going to end up doing is negating people next year. If Trump's tax plan works and it helps and it's noticeable, people are going to notice this, and people are going to be doing one of two things, or both. They're going to stop voting Democrat because they realize the Democrats aren't doing things for them, and or can't get the job done. In this case, they couldn't keep the tax bill, the Trump tax plan, from from being passed. The other thing is that they're also going to notice that they don't know what their they don't offer good arguments, and they don't know what their voters want. The second part that the Dems are making a huge mistake on is they're blaming a lot of this on trickle-down economics. Well, guess what? Trickle-down economics is exactly what happens in America. You work, most Americans work for a corporation or a company or a business, small or big, and then obviously those owners are going to be getting the most money. Rightfully so. It's their bread and butter. They're the ones that created it. Except for the guy in Seattle who pays everybody $70,000. I don't know what's up with that. I do think I read into that a little bit the other day, and it looks like he's doing okay, but I don't know if it's just for show. So anyways, so of course, it's going to be trickle-down economics. Okay, so you have the corporation, and the corporation is going to be possibly having some contractors, shareholders, etc., who have a odd pay package, and then you have high-level employees who have skills. Let's talk management, CEO, owner. You'll have those people that have obviously the most money. That's a top tier, and then you're going to have people who have good skills that lend itself to building the company, who help it grow. Those are top to mid-level tier. Then you have semi-skilled people below that, and then you have another group below that are general workers, and they don't offer anything special, but they could do something menial at the company. Tell me how that's not trickle-down effects in everyday life. For the Dems to keep consistently bringing this up. Oh my gosh, trickle down economics. Oh my god, oh my freaking god. Oh my god, you're basically misinterpreting information, bringing that to the people who support you, the people who don't know how to think for themselves, and making them go stir batshit crazy. And that's very sad that you would do that to the people who vote for you. So, with that, I would hope people would do their own research. They don't have to just take talking head points, because that's all it is from, the opposers outside of our elected officials, who push a narrative saying that there's no benefit to this. It's just trickle-down economics. Know that that's the case, what's happening in the United States anyways. I mean, it's so stupid. And so with that, the Democrats are just basically going to be losing votes. That's what I predict for next year. None of them voted for this, and if it does begin to become successful, you can rest assured that Donald Trump will be making a huge stink of this, and basically saying, do you guys want to vote for people who, Democrats, 0 who voted for this? Do you want to vote them in the midterms? Because they're obviously not doing anything to help you out. I mean, we got rid of the mandate. We doubled the child tax credit. I don't have children, but you know what? I care about families getting a little bit more money. I'm not too sure about this right now, but I believe that student loan taxable deduction is also still there. It was in talks that it was not, but I'll correct myself in a future video or in the comments or in my description if that is not the case. And the funniest part here is this. The blue states are the biggest spenders of money that you can't imagine. So Texas, New York, and California, New York, and Texas is semi-red, semi-blue. Biggest spenders are New York and California. Apparently they're going to be hit the hardest and have a huge tax increase. Well, what they can start doing is managing their own finances, stop giving to sanctuary cities, stop supporting programs that don't give back to the American community, stop burdening their tax-paying citizens in their state. Again, it's about fiscal responsibility in your state. What did you think this was? A freaking daycare? No, it's America. It's America where you have to get up and go to work and go get your job done. No more of this social service, long life social service. Don't get me wrong. I do believe, and I firmly believe in taking care of our sick, our poor, our hungry, our vets. But then there's those people that are intermingling in between who they can say that they're in between jobs, but they've been in between jobs throughout the whole Obama regime, and those people are not counted in these these low job figures. Obama hit a record low job, so unemployment is very, very low, and yay, Obama. Well, no, there's the requirements to determine who had employment changed under the Obama. It evolved over and over again. It was basically, if you stopped looking for work, you were not considered unemployed anymore. So that's why Obama supposedly has a left office with a low unemployment rate. That's fucking bullshit. Do you research, people? So anyways, I'm looking at my notes here. You can control your own money here, with the tax system. You're going to have a little bit more money in your pocket going forward, and that's the important thing. Who wouldn't want to see a little bit more money in their pockets? Who wouldn't want to see that paycheck a little bit higher? You know, that's the biggest thing here is the simplification of the tax codes. You know, a lot of rich are not going to be able to benefit from that. Now, granted, the big corporations, there are some holdover items that only, you know, very rich elites can actually take advantage of that Trump didn't get rid of. However, don't let that dissuade you from noticing the obvious. The obvious is that yes, when you lower tax rates for corporations, while it might be beneficial for some of them to think of their shareholders first, and probably give the majority of profits to them, don't think that for a minute that kind of a system where they would keep doing that consistently and not care about growth and not care about hiring people locally in America is going to stick. No, you don't just give back to your shareholders. Those shareholders are going to want to say, hey, you know what's going to help us grow a little bit more? Well, they know that more jobs in America will help them grow. Now that they're able to bring their jobs back into America, you know, where they left, and apparently that's considered normal. Let everybody else have our jobs in these big corporations that are American made, now foreign headquartered. They're going to be coming back here, so don't fall for these scare tactics. There's a lot of things that could happen between now and 10 years. And yes, what if the tax codes do change between now and 10 years from now, when it starts being, you know, they're not going to be changing for corporations, but they are going to be supposedly slowly going back up to normal levels of today's levels that we pay. Well, we got rid of the Obamacare mandate, the Affordable Care Act, which was never affordable. One of the biggest tax increases we ever got, whether you want to call it that or not, it was definitely a forced tax. That's done and away with. So you're going to have, you know, as a single filer, what is it now? $700 was the penalty, $800? I can't remember. That's extra back in your pocket as well. You know, otherwise you'd be paying a penalty if you didn't have health care. You're probably also going to go see health care actually means something now. You're probably going to be able to use it, you know, unlike paying for, you know, subsidized health care where everybody else is going to be getting the benefit and you're not. You know, you're able to pay into it, but you're not able to use it. Other people can use it and not pay into it. How is that fair? Leave that to California and New York. Let them have whatever they want with that kind of shit. So you're going to have more control of your money. You're going to see a little bit less taxes taken out assumptively, and I do think that's what's going to happen. When that starts happening, the Dems are going to get freaked out. They're going to start saying, oh, you know, well, there's a lot of poor people who this and who that and who this. Well, you know what? Trump is taking care of the right people first, Americans first. He's going to be giving back to our vets. He has been. He's going to be focused on our community. He's already helping the poor right now. I mean, gosh. No taxes for your first, you know, as an individual filer, $12,000. I mean, how many average jobs out there, low wage jobs? I remember working at McDonald's my first year, my very first job outside of field work, outside of pushing weeds in a mint field. The very first job was McDonald's, and I remember making like $3 or $4 or $5 an hour there, and I'm pretty sure at the end of the year I probably made about $8,000 or $10,000. Well, guess what? Under Trump, that would have been zero tax. So, I mean, think about that. People now low income earners, they're not going to be trapped in this cycle of doing of staying and having to work two jobs. You know, a good amount of them will be able to push themselves out with this little push here. So you Dems, all you want to do is just control the money and then disperse it out among everybody else. No, you're the ones robbing money out of my pocket. I'm a working American, and I can't take advantage of the things that I have. I can't get sick. I can't afford to get sick. If I get sick, I'm entitled to be paying, you know, whatever illness or broken leg or whatever that I have. Now I think that I might actually have an opportunity to live here a little bit more. So, and I think a lot of Americans will as well. We're not as stupid as you think, you fuckers. I'm so glad you're going to be exposed here very shortly, and I hope this video helps expose some of the things. You know, I am saying it in verbatim, but I mean, the stats are going to be coming out here very shortly. I think that you guys have a lot to learn when it comes to understanding who the smart Americans are, who you can trick. Oh, yeah. When you have no services that you can offer in your state and you can't afford them anymore, you're not going to be getting blue votes anymore. You're not going to really care about bringing in people from foreign countries and getting their vote as well. So, to take advantage of all of our taxes so we could pay for their housing and their food and their clothing and stipends. So now we're going to be focused on work and getting our economy back, getting America back to being a global powerhouse again. So, yeah, hats off to everybody who passed it. Shit on you to those who didn't vote for it, and I'll be doing a lot of follow-ups on this in regards to where it goes for the next year, where it goes in 2018, 2019, and we'll see if it's going to be a good thing or not. I have a good feeling that it's going to be a very good thing. So other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. Peace out, and bye-bye. Okay.